Seeing more and more activities online, people trying to hijack your Google listings, your Google My Business listing. So how do they do it? It's pretty easy for somebody to hijack your Google listing, and I'll share with you how to protect it. So easily, a hacker, what they could do is, first of all, they might call you, right, pretending to be Google. And I'm sure many of you get calls like that. And you're like, hey, your Google listing hasn't been 100% claimed or it's not accurate. Let's fill it out together. They pretend to be Google. And now your gatekeeper might thought it's real, then it will, right, walk them through and give them the login and password. Now they hijacked it, right? Obviously, they're not Google. If they're Google, why do they need your login and password? So that's what's always been happening in the past. But lately, this is what's happening, is somebody can easily claim your Google listing by doing this. What they could do is just go on google.com/business or business.google.com. They could easily type in your business name to search, pretending they own your listing. Okay. Then, obviously, I always say, hey, this listing has been claimed already by the business owner, obviously, right? It will say, hey, this listing has been claimed already. And then they could request access. Okay. So typically, if whenever we onboard a client, they forgot their login and password, that's what we typically do, is to hit request access. Then somebody from whoever claimed it before, maybe they forgot a login password, could be tied to somebody's email they don't know. But typically we wouldn't know who this is tied to. But typically the hacker, what they would do is to hit request access. Now all those emails that have access to your Google listing, they all get emails that somebody is requesting access to your Google listing. And you most likely would know, hey, that's a spam. But many of those that's tied to your Google listing that's getting those emails, they might not necessarily know. And they will hit grant access. Now the spammer, the hacker, now have access to your Google listing. So how can you prevent this from happening? First is to log into your Google listing and figure out who has access to your Google listing. That's very easy to tell. You can easily tell who you granted access to your Google listing, and kind of go through that list and see, hey, maybe you don't remember who that is. Maybe it could be an agency from previous that worked on your Google listing. Make sure to remove access. So now only you, maybe plus your current agency, would have access to your Google listing. So that's the first thing, is to clean up your look at who you gave administrative access to. Second is whenever you get those emails asking you to grant them access, make sure everybody knows in your staff, whoever has access to that, is to make sure just delete it. Make sure you don't click on grant access. So these spam activities, even I see quite a bit of these spams lately, people granting access, and easily they can do it just by clicking on request access. So again, make sure whenever we get these type of emails, people coming from Google, which looks official, asking you to release access, make sure do not grant the access. Okay?